everyone, you're rocking with Culture Talk with Kenshe. I am Kenshe. I'm here with a very special guest. I'll let him introduce himself.
Jay Griffy, Griffy Online, Griffy Online, Griffy Online, Griffy Online. I'm proud to be, at Doppler Studios. Shout out to Culture Talk. Y'all got me on the wave, so I'm happy to be here and bop out with y'all.
We're happy to have you.
Most definitely.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, how you got started.
Yeah, most definitely. Originally, I'm from New York, That's where I started from, and, I lived my life and I traveled a lot, So I lived in every coast of the U.S. from the time of probably like 13, And I was able to experience and see a lot of things. So, shout out to NY and shout out to Philly too, because they like my second home,
Okay. So do you have any like Atlanta influences or?
I used to live down south for a while, so I'm always inspired by working with different Atlanta veterans. I did a bunch of songwriting in my life and worked with some incredible people in the industry. So Atlanta's definitely a staple in the industry, and they only showed me love being out here. I've only been out here like a year and a half, but I've been shaking it up, working with a lot of good Atlanta people. So shout out to the whole Atlanta area.
Okay. So is that how you got your start with songwriting?
Songwriting and engineering, working behind the boards. Worked with started my my industry game out working with some bad boy A&R. D. Angeletti was the mad rapper. He worked with Biggie and a bunch of big folks. So I was one of the young balls, staying on the fly on the wall and picking out the songwriting thing and picking out the engineering and really learning how to make it a finance for me and bring value to myself, so I wouldn't just be an artist.
Yeah, that's dope. I definitely see a lot of artists, they're like, they miss that whole stage. They don't understand how important it is to sit back and observe at first. You know what I mean?
True indeed.
Yeah. So how would you say like engineering, like what helped you as far as rapping? Because I know a lot of times that's an issue that artists have when they're first starting out.
Well, I feel like me as an artist, I have an extremely unique style. You feel me? I don't sound like nobody. I don't try to imitate nobody. And having that type of sound, I had to learn how to work behind the boards, to be able to depict that unique sound that how I wanted to sound like, And from there, I was able to learn the science behind it and learning how to master it. So now when I'm working behind the boards, or even if I'm not, if I'm working with another engineer, they just as nice as me, and I'm knocking out 2-3 songs an hour. You know what I mean?
Wow, that's crazy. So I see you just got off tour, the Spicy tour. How was that?
Yes, that was real dope. Shout out to Hip Hop to 1987. They helped, partner up with them. And we did the real dope tour. We were out in New York, we out in Philly, Miami, Atlanta. We did a bunch of shows down there in that little coast area. And it was real dope. I was able to connect with real dope people. And Philly, one of my second homes, so they really showed out real crazy. We got some real dope footage. You can check it out on my wave. And we got a whole combination that we had throughout the whole tour that we got some footage that's coming out for y'all too. So we in there like swimwear. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So another thing that I wanted to ask you about, so the Spicy tour, the Spicy album, you broke a lot of records with that.
Yeah.
A lot of crazy records that's unheard of for like an independent artist.
Sure indeed. Well, I feel like I'm the one of the independent artists that's breaking the mold. You feel me? I feel like I'm honored to have the people that support me. You know what I mean? That really show me that genuine type of support where, anytime they want to tap in with me or vice versa, it's always free will. So they came out and they showed support and they pre-ordered the project, and we end up cracking the iTunes charts. We got top 5 in Canada and top 20 in the US. All independent, no label, no machine. We did it all on our own, and we got real dope publication look from it. And we're always continuing and going hard, cracking million streams and crazy playlists. So I'm honored to have my supporters, everybody that rock with me, that always move out every time we drop.
Yeah, congrats on that. For
Thank
real.
you. Appreciate it.
So I know that you're like a really creative artist, just from videos and stuff like that. And I also saw on your Instagram that you're working on a cartoon animation series.
Yeah. So we're working on a real dope cartoon animation series with my folks, Creative Rights, and they're real dope. I'm sorry, let me repeat that. Dark Crimes. We coming out with a project, so I just did some of the voiceovers on it last week, so it's gonna be real dope. We're gonna add special artists, and they're gonna be doing also like different type of surprise characters that we're gonna be adding in there. You know what I mean? From some familiar names as well. And we just cross marketing it and actually putting it where I'm gonna be dropping the same type of gems I'll be dropping on my gram, but also but also the animation with that. You know what I mean? As far as showing them how my crazy side is, my fun and lit side, like how people see in my videos.
Right. I was definitely gonna say that. We see that in the music videos for sure.
Yeah.
So when is that coming? Do you know where?
It's a process because we already got a couple episodes. I want to make sure I drop it just like how Netflix drop it, where everybody get all the episodes at once so they can kind of follow through with it. You know what I mean? And just tap in how they want to tap in. So you gotta give it we're gonna drop the first episode probably like in a month and a half from now. You know what I mean? Everything is already kind of structured out. We did the voiceovers, but we want to make sure it's perfect and perfected, and we do everything right for the people.
For sure. So is it gonna come like on YouTube or is that?
Yeah, well, we working with a couple different partnerships with a couple distribution people that I'm real tight with. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to do something special. You know what I mean? So once we got everything structured out, that's the next thing that we're gonna be doing is working on the full distribution, and I'm real excited about that. Real excited about that.
Yeah, that's lit. For when I saw it, I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
you're doing a lot of things that like independent artists aren't really doing. Is that also with affiliation with hip hop since 1987?
No, that's just another entity. You know what I mean? Hip hop 1987. I had a real long relationship. Like I said, Philly's one of my second homes. So, they were one of the first people to have me work with some of the Philly greats, like doing shows with Freeway, doing records with Gilly the Kid, being on the radio. You know what I mean? One of the owners from Hip Hop in 1987 was one of the first FM DJs to put me on the radio out in Philly. You know what I mean? And then, from there, growing that relationship. But, I learned how to curate each one of my relationships, working with all these different companies and entities. And, I feel honored to have a reputable name,
right.
You know what I mean, and be independent and still have the opportunity to build with these major type of brands.
So do you think that you would want to sign a deal at this point, or you think you're going to try to stick it out and stay independent?
Well, right now, I'm offered to listen to, whatever can be offered. You know what I mean? I'm willing to hear whatever can be offered. But, at the same time, the show must always go on. So, I ain't waiting for nobody either. You know what I mean? We always shaking up every single second. You know what I mean? I feel like I am the hardest working independent artist because artists ain't making the moves I'm doing. You know what I mean? We put it all in for the muscle. You know what I mean? We put it all in for the muscle. So, when it comes to, another label, I feel like they have to match that hustle and they have to make sure that the team that I have working around me is taking my brand as a priority because I know what value I can bring to the table.
Definitely. So I know a lot of artists have that like debate or whatever, stay independent or to sign. So what advice or things could you give to other artists that may be having that little dilemma?
Well, my advice that I could give to other artists is build your brand. Build your brand. You feel me? You can't be worth nothing to nobody if you don't put worth into yourself. You know what I mean? So, first thing first is start getting behind the boards. Learn how to engineer. You know what I mean? Go to shows that you ain't even performing at. You know what I mean? Showing that love and support where people know that you support the culture. When people see that you support the culture, they will support you as well. So, build your foundation first before you ask other people to try to help you out.
Okay. That was great advice. So, another thing that I saw on your Instagram when I was checking you out, you just got a Reebok deal.
Yeah, most definitely. Shout out to my man Leroy Wright, you know what I mean? He's one of the marketing directors for the South region, and we build a real dope partnership, and they rocking with me super, super heavy, and I'm doing a bunch of shows and events with them, and they make sure I stay with the most dopest fresh. They got me bloodied out right now, you know what I mean? So shout out to the whole Reebok. They got me real lit, and especially being an independent artist, a lot of people ain't doing those type of things. So I feel honored to work with them, and shout out to my man Leroy.
Yeah, that's amazing. Congrats on that.
Thank you.
So, in the Instagram video, you said people don't miss you when you move on. They miss you when you move up. Mm-hmm. How do you deal with those people that try to come back around now that you've had like more success?
Well, I think it comes with the territory, you know what I mean? But with me, I don't try to look in revenge or anything else like that. I just try to lead by example. feel me? So, I want my success to speak for itself, you know what I mean? And, certain relationships with certain people, might not be something that I could put my full attention on, you know what I mean? But I'm not the type of person to say, F you never would've, because, you know what I mean? I don't have that in my heart to even care about, you know what I mean, envious stuff like that, you know what I mean? All I say is, watch my moves and, look at my work as motivation, you know what I mean? And till we can be on that same type of mindset, then, you know what I mean, it is what it is, you know what I mean? But, at this point, I got no hatred, but they only miss you when you move up. They only miss you when you move up. So just focus on you, focus on your groundwork, and everything else will fall right into place.
Facts. Yeah, I love the little boss talks things that you do on Instagram. Like, what made you...
Nah, I feel like I gotta give game because, every time when I'm talking to people, on a day-to-day, and, we in the studio, we vibing and whoop, I'm just talking heavy, but I'm saying some real cloth talk, real game, and not all the time that I displayed on the internet. I have so many different type of personalities, but not everything is displayed on the internet. So I wanted to make sure that, I'm showing people other sides of me and they could grow with me while I'm exposing myself to the internet.
Yeah, I love that because a lot of people in the industry, they're not really trying to give out gems like that. They're not really trying to motivate people. It's kind of like they don't want to get knocked out. Like,
well, it's a hard road, you know what I mean? And I feel like any career that you go through, it's not a destination, it's a journey. You know what I mean? And through the journeys, you're going to have ups and downs. No matter what position you are, no matter how much success you have, it's always ups and downs with it. So, if I could just say little words here and there to motivate people, I'm going to do it. Or if I could make music to motivate people, I'm going to do it. If I could walk through and bring my presence and just say, hey! And that just help people get hype, you know what I mean? I feel my energy, God brought me this gift and gave me this gift to be able to reciprocate that. So, who am I to not be able to offer that to the world?
So, what do you have coming up next, and what would you like to do in the near future?
Well, we got, a couple real dope events that I'm doing with Rap Plug, and I got a show this Friday with Hip Hop's 1987, you know what I mean, which is going to be real dope.
What's the show?
It's at the Artisan Bar and Gallery, so that is this Friday. That's going to be real lit, and, I'm going to do a surprise performance, go crazy, be in the crowd, and, my elbow, something, I don't know, man, I just be, I be in my zone, but everybody be having a good time. But doing that, and then we got a bunch of new visuals we're releasing, the cartoon, new records. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be announcing another big partnership I'm gonna be doing, and just shaking it up. You know what I mean? Hitting people with surprises. You know what I mean? Getting my glow up. You know what I mean? Dropping this heat on them. You know what I mean? So I gotta come back to the culture talk again. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Talk heavy. Bring some real fly people through as well. You know what I mean? Shake it up. Yeah.
For sure. So what else do you want to do? Like, what do you have like that you want to do in the near future? Like endorsements, TV.
Well, the next thing's next is really probably start doing some acting roles. You know what I mean? I got a couple scenes in a couple little movies here and there. Doing some extra work, but start doing some more serious roles, and also start really doing more festivals. You know what I mean? Doing more interviews, with like-minded people, dropping more gems, you know what I mean? And just keep motivating people. That's my goal. Motivating people and positioning my people around me to level up as well.
For sure. So why don't you tell everybody where they could follow you?
Oh man, you can find me Griffy Online. That's Facebook, Instagram, Pornhub, Tinder, MySpace, Griffy Online. Yang.
Well, thank you so much for coming. Thank y'all for
tuning in.
Pleasure's all mine,
boss lady. Most definitely. Shout out to Kulture Talk.
You'll definitely see us again, see him again. So tune in the next time.
Whoop.